Welcome to Intimate ZVX with Stoic, episode 22, game 3. He is Stoic Regret.
And he is Stoic Nuvo.
And he is John Cougar Mellencamp. Jack and Diane. So, David, I guess we're going back to Cloud Kingdom for a ZvP against Valor. Do you know Valor at all?
No. He's probably the most known player here.
About Jack and Diane. Sorry to interrupt you.
I think he got a little popular beating Stefano in some stream earlier this week or something.
Okay. So a good player. He beat Stefano. Stefano has been practicing hard for MLG, by the way.
Yep, I hope he wins.
See him
no, I hope Symbol wins. I have a bet with Tarek, eh? He chose MC and I chose Symbol.
That's a little ridiculous.
Yep.
Alright, well, without further ado, why don't we just go ahead and get into the game.
I'm gonna have to enjoy MLG with him because you left me without.
I'll be watching from Sweden. Man, I wish I was going to Sweden because they're putting DreamHack on Swedish national television.
Wow.
It's been the first StarCraft 2 television.
You went at the wrong time though.
Yeah, I know. Oh well.
Whatever.
Okay, you ready for this game?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, play.
Alright, so this game is just going to showcase a later Immortal push than the standard one now. I think the best one is the Genius build, where they move out at about 9:30, and they hit their optimal number of about 130 supply at about 11 minutes. And that one's really difficult to fend off, and we've already done a VOD on that. But I think people at the lower levels that watch our VODs keep asking me about Immortal pushes that are seemingly more powerful because they kind of wait and build a larger army and move out. And it's actually a weaker push because it allows you to max faster. But the thing with sentries and immortals is,
can you get investors out if it comes that much later, or is
you
that
can.
Not
it's not needed. No, it's not needed at all.
Okay.
I mean that would be hard countering it, and you're gonna lose to everything else, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, people have been complaining about if they just kind of sit there and build up a larger number of mortals, because the optimal number of mortals is actually only 2. But if they build 3 and 4, it's not supposed to work, as we're going to see this game. But I do understand what you mean with the excessive force field and the abnormal number of immortals. It does give that variance where if you literally only lose one fight, you will lose the game, and it just feels so awful when they build up that high sentry count with immortal and they push out later. Yeah, because when you win the game, you win it by a lot. But when you lose the game, you lose it by you literally only kill one stalker and you're already maxed. So I do understand that feeling, but we'll just go over this game, what you're gonna do. Okay, so the first thing is I pull drones here, and I know it looks odd because he nexused first, but whenever a Protoss puts down pylon that early, I always pull 4 drones down right away. And the reason I do this is because if he invests into a cannon, I can instantly cancel it by putting down the minimal number of drones down. And if he doesn't put down the cannon, then as you can see with his build, you see how he's 17 of 26. Building that pylon is that early is actually so bad for your economy as Protoss that if I don't mine with those extra 3 drones for 10 seconds, it doesn't really put me behind at all. So I would rather do that than lose to something stupid as a 2 or 3 cannon rush or something dumb like that. So yeah, that's basically it.
I feel you.
So that's a little trick. If you guys have ever played that, where they build 1 or 2 cannons there, I believe In Control does it a lot. But
if he drops an early
the
pylon comes really early though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna comment on the goodness of that build because I'm telling you it doesn't work, and I'm drunk, so we're not gonna comment on it.
If the Zerg reacts properly, all you do is pull 3 drones, right?
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It works. Builds like that work for a little while until the first time it happens to someone, and then they're like, "Oh, I just got."
Yeah, and then if you just use your brain and figure it out, you'll realize that it's.
But it's like a good build if you're trying to trick a player. You know what I mean? It's weird to
Yeah,
throw
but it
in there. It's
literally
not
only
good.
took me 1 minute of analyzing it and going, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do every
Yeah,
time.
but one game in a tournament in a best of 3, if it fucks someone up to win
That's
that one
true.
game, that's what it's for, really.
That's true. It's a horrible build, though.
Yeah.
Not even going to go there.
In Control should have kept it to himself for a while. And used it maybe in a
Well,
tournament to
I'm
screw
telling you
someone.
right now, whatever In Control thinks that he does because he does it, it's probably copied from a Korean in the first place.
I haven't seen any Korean do that. I think he came up with that, man. He definitely did. He was
Uh,
working on it. Unless you saw a Korean do it.
I see Koreans do more
They do
efficient
cheesy.
ways of blocking the hatch. Like JYP is the first person to build a double pylon at the second and third, and a cyber cord at one of them. Uh, that actually annoys the shit out of Zerg players. But
Yeah,
if you guys
that's...
ever run into that, the trick is to not be cheap and send your queen down to attack the shit instead of building the creep tumor. Just don't be cheap and you'll be okay. Alright, so this guy is going to be doing a very... Oh, I'm drunk, so I'm just gonna say it. It's a very shitty version of the all-in. Basically, this version is for people with 0 APM. Because they look at a build and they go, oh, Genius does this build with 2 immortals. But the only reason why it works is because he's really good and he micros a lot. So I'm just gonna do the same build, but wait like 3 minutes and I'll have 4 or 5 immortals. And more sentries and more force fields. So that way, when I'm playing a bad Zerg, I
You can just
can
1A and hit the F
make
button.
this retarded amount of force fields, and if they fuck up, then I win. So, as we're gonna see, this doesn't work. It's just a little bit scary and annoying to play against because you only play against it a few times when the Protoss is not doing a real build.
Well, here's the thing that I want to ask you, David. Since he's, you know, well, you eventually figure out what he's doing. You're figured out that you have some extra time here. What do you want to do with that extra time? Are you using? Obviously, you're going to max roaches because you're doing that anyway. Do you use it to get a better position? Do you want to be aggressive? Like, do you want, or do you just want to take over that middle, get the high ground? Like, what's the best play here? Or do you want to defend?
Well, let's go by it with steps. So step one, because you basically want to be more greedy the more you know that a push is gonna come later rather than earlier, right?
There's your macro hatch.
So the first thing I do, the first reason why I'm able to get my layer before speed, that's the one greedy thing, and get my macro hatch super early, is because I saw him take his extra gas at the second base super fast. So, you know, he's either doing something like this, like the immortal push, or going into void raids or DTs. Either way, I don't need speed. So that's number one. So this will allow me to, as you can see, my roach speed's already started before the 9-minute mark. So that's huge. The second thing I do, obviously, is I don't build any units and then build my macro hatch at about 70 supply. That's pretty greedy. So that allows my production to be fairly optimal at this point. And it allows me to basically drone up to, you went about 65, I went up to 67, which is probably a mistake. If I had a choice, I would do 65 every single time. You want about 65 drones, and then you start producing units. So the thing with this engagement is, if he's doing this properly, he would have already moved out. And you know, if you guys watch the replay of the VOD, I don't know when we did this, but we did do this at one point.
We've done this several times
Yeah,
now.
it's very difficult to handle because he's actually at my base right now.
Why don't we time check right now?
10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25,
Okay.
26. Alright, so as you can see, whatever, I'm drunk, so I'm just going to say what's on my mind.
You keep doing disclaimer yourself.
I built 2 overseers here, and the reason why I do it is because he's supposed to have moved out a minute ago if he's doing a real build. But he's doing a bad build, so I just kind of say to myself, well, it's probably something retarded like DTs, so I'm going to build 2 overseers. But he's not going DTs, he's doing a shittier immortal build, so unfortunately for me, I gimmicked to myself 2 roaches here, but whatever, it's going to work out. So as you can see, this guy is at 103 supply at 11 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, the thing is, with the Genius build, at 11 minutes you're at 130 supply, so mathematically this build is incorrect. Anyways, so as you can see, he does have 3 immortals instead of 2. So it is a little bit scary, but as you can see, he never ever forced the engagement. So you see how, right when he cuts off my army, I instantly let the roaches that he cut off attack, because picking off the 1 or 2 sentries that they did pick off is very, very beneficial for me. But this is the reason why this late push is not going to work. Look at my supply right now. I'm
Yeah.
basically maxed. Even if he kills the space, his army will never get away from me, and if he loses this, it's basically over. So all I want to do is force him to use as many force fields as possible, and I think he's about to run out. Yeah, he's going to run out right now, and this is going to be excellent for me. So as you can see, you see how I'm always boxing my units so that I run away with the outside ones and attack with the inside ones. So whenever he lets me get inside, I just kind of kill off as much as I can. And you see how he did a defensive force field right there? He actually blocked me off on the ramp. You don't want to force it. So if he wants to say, hey, I'm going to force field in a way that I don't want you to attack me, then say, fine, just let it be. Because the last thing you want to do is be indecisive for like that 5 or 10 seconds where he kills off half your roaches, because immortals are really, really good against roaches. And then, you know, no matter how good you micro after that, you're always going to be slightly behind in army value, and that's not good. So as you can see, I'm completely maxed right now. There's absolutely no way you can beat me because I'm completely maxed right now.
Yeah, he's way behind.
Yeah, so now I just have to wait for that engagement. He did try to do a little bit of a sneaky move there, warping those zealots, but it doesn't work because roaches and lings with speed on both is actually quite powerful right
So
now.
you dropped an infestation pit. Are you already feeling you've done enough damage to kind of tech up a little
Yeah,
bit?
the
or?
only reason I actually put down this infestation pit is because I'm already so behind. Like, you can see I actually can afford this.
Oh, you mean you're so ahead? You're already maxed and you
Yeah,
have nothing
like
else
this
to
is...
build.
It's actually impossible for him to not... See, you see how he just killed off 50 lings? That was very sloppy by me, but as you can see, it didn't even drop me in food because I'm actually so economically ahead right now. So I'm just going to go in here and trade off super inefficient, and the reason why I'm okay with doing this is, as you can see, I never actually drop from being maxed. So for every unit he loses, it's beneficial for me because his remax value is going to be less and less and less and less and less and less. So, you know, like, the thing is, the more you play against this, the less scary it's going to look. Because I know a lot of you guys kind of panic when you get into this situation because
I know
he
I
has
do,
a lot
David.
of units.
Those immortals freak me right out.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But just never ever worry about it. Just keep up with your production, and I guarantee you, if you are 100% focused on injects and building units, it will be less and less and less scary. Because the more experience you have against pushes like this, you'll just realize that a lot of the reasons why you lose is because you panic, and that panic of, you know, 10 to 15 seconds of missing an inject or not building units is the reason why you lose instead of the actual scariness of the army in the first place. So basically the game is over.
Yes,
And
it is. And he doesn't have a third base, so it's...
for
yeah.
you protest players out there, do the genius build. Do not sit there and build 3 immortals. Okay?
Alright, well, let's get into game 4 then.